All right, we are back with another episode of The Buzz. Follow us, Gospel and Music Buzz, on all social media platform. Today is a very special episode. It's the first one kicking off the new season, and we're here with the artist farm. I always wanted to say this, the artist formerly known as the Truth now, Emanuel, West Philadelphia, born and raised. And I'm not gonna
Hey,
start spitting
come
anything,
on,
but
let's go.
Emmanuel, welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
Oh man, super honored. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I mean, listen, man, I know there's a lot of new things that's happening in this season here.
For
We
sure.
got the new name, the new album, a lot of new, a lot of new performances and so forth that's happening. The new
Yeah.
project, your 12th studio album, just even
Yeah.
letting that sit in, Jesus had
Yeah.
12 disciples, you
Come
got
on.
12 albums. Like,
Come on.
how important is it, the all the work and everything that went into the new project, Emmanuel?
It's really important. It's been a 3 year long process. It started in the pandemic. Really significant detail to think about this project is built everything from scratch. Much like actually a few of my albums have been like this. Big
Mhm.
Picture we built from scratch, and Open Book we built from scratch because I am a musician first. So that's one thing
Yes.
people don't know. I'm a musician first, and so built this album from scratch. The album is really, I think it's a special record. One of my most high profile albums. A lot of big names that
I
I'm
saw
excited
that. I
about.
saw that.
Get an opportunity to marry two worlds. Me
Hmm.
and PJ Morton's world, and me and Kim Burrell's world, and just being able to do that. Me and Aaron Cole's world because he's a younger demographic.
Yes.
So yes, I think it's a really significant album. I think it's an important album, creatively, sonically. It's Complicated was an album I put out a couple of years ago, and
Hmm.
I thought that was one of my most important albums from the vantage point of speaking right into the heart of the conversation that the culture was having at the time. This, I think, is one of the most important albums because I think it has the ability to shift the sonic palette, I think, of
Mm.
Christian hip hop. Because I do think Christian hip hop is very kind of pigeonholed in some
Hmm.
ways,
Hmm.
has certain kind of sonic echo chambers, and probably about three of them in total. And what I always like to do is just keep pushing the envelope sonically until
Yes.
people catch on, and in hopes that I expand it to the point in which people will begin to have a taste for something fresh, something different, different sound, different approach, different mode of expression. So important in a lot of different ways. Yeah.
And I mean, it's so interesting that you said that, right? Because I mean, I fortunate enough, I was able to listen to the album, and really, this is one of those things. Like, it really takes you. You mentioned the word sonic. It really takes you on a sonic journey throughout, because kind of going through, you mentioned, a lot of the collaboration that are there, with the Kim Burrell collaboration, with the collaboration with Rich Tolbert, Tamela Mann. There's a lot of collaboration, and as you're listening to it, it's basically painting this picture, right? Because you're going through all
Mm.
great songs. Honestly, I'm going through it and I'm trying to think, which one would be my favorite. I can't say one. I would say, there's several of them. You got the OG Fred Hammond on there, Ankh is there, and then even listening to
Oh,
the song with you and Dante, that's kind of like even like a war cry in it of itself, right? And then Kim Burrell come on there with, you mentioned, free from likes and comments, and there's a lot of, there's a whole lot of thing we can go through there, and then you kind of sneak in Tamela Mann with those hymns in between. I'm listening, I'm like, oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So the
yeah.
album all throughout is such a great project. And then
Wow.
with the name, I mean, I have to ask, I mean, it is still your name. It's not like you came out of the blue
Right.
with a random name, but everyone kind of looked at you, looked at the truth, know everything from the truth. But what made you decide with this new, album that you're releasing, that you're gonna also go with the new moniker? Well, with
I
your
think
with your birth name, I should
birth
say.
name. Yeah. I think it's just time. The truth, although uh, the truth is a big part of who I am. that that moniker feels more like a caricature of me today.
Mm-hmm.
Emanuel feels more like the complete version of me.
Yeah.
And I think the truth represents a time, it represents kind of somebody who has the answers. And Emanuel is kind of somebody who's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The truth represents to me somebody who is a little more black and white, whereas Emanuel is a bit more nuanced, a bit more. I could see a little bit more gray than I did maybe in times past. So I think Emanuel, the name change is just consistent with where I am in this, in this season of my life. I really feel more. I feel more stripped down. I feel more like a person, like myself, than I do a character. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, and again, and even the lyrics to a lot of these songs, right? That was written, a lot of these songs you collaborated on, like in the one in the dark, right? You mentioned the best picture gets developed in the room. JC for the ground power to the tube. I mean, this listening to the thought process that is put into there, and you're kind of like, oh, wait, okay, I see developing pictures in the dark, but like the whole thing, the new name, the new direction, but also even, bridging that gap, right, between the older as well as the newer generation of the culture of CHH, because you were mentioning something about, Kendrick Lamar, that, there's the 40s, the 50s, the 60s can still show up to his concerts. So someone shouldn't age out when it comes to CHH, when it comes to the culture. So touch a little bit on that, because I think that's
I think that's really been a thing of mine since that. So about 2018, I started having this conversation. And man, I just think I think, Christian hip hop has been pigeonholed in a lot of ways, not just sonically, not just creatively, but I think that it's been pigeonholed demographically.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that, you heard me probably talk about it before, has happened as a result of the culture not really being given, the gatekeepers not helping the culture to grow with the genre. Because the gatekeepers have tried to keep it as a young man's sport.
Yeah.
And just like in mainstream hip hop, all the young men got mortgages now.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
And so what happens is two things happen. The people don't know, the listeners, the audience doesn't know that they have permission to grow with the genre and be in their 40s and 50s and 60s and still love it. In the same way that they love somebody in the mainstream in their 40s and 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And because they don't know that they can still love it, that means that the demographic stays young. The demographic that listens to it stays young, which in turn forces the artists to keep their music in a youthy space. So we end up on this vicious cycle, of, artists not feeling like they have the freedom to expand and grow beyond whatever they've been doing, because the audience won't grow, and the audience won't grow because the gatekeepers never really taught them that this was something, this genre is not limited to, the teen, what generation Y and Z. And so I think, I've taken it upon myself to just continue to have this conversation out loud, to say we're getting older, but we ain't dead. Like we,
we still like the music, we still like the culture.
I mean, we still love hip hop. That's the thing. We're getting older, but we still love hip hop. And I just think that the audience has to know they have permission, that it's okay, that there's a green light. They have the green light to enjoy, to come to the concerts, to be a part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't Lil Uzi Vert, so we ain't gonna be in there, but that's to the point. The point is, I'm creating music now that you listen to, and that music, I'm creating music that you experience, not just even listen to. And this part of my journey is for everybody my age and even beyond. So
I love that, man.
yeah,
Listen, I know we're a little pressed on time, but
yeah,
the new project right now, Emanuel, in partnership. I know it's in partnership as well with Mixed Bag Entertainment. It's going to
yeah.
be dropping this Friday the 27th, all digital platform. And guys, if you've been rocking with Emanuel over these 20+ years, rocking with the truth over these 20+ years, you're going to appreciate this project. It steps you through everything. There's something in there for everyone, and it really, truly bridges that gap. I can say that 100%. I know you also got a few performances coming up. You're going to be at Hip Hop DX and a few others. You want to just let us know where can someone kind of follow, kind of track? Because I know with this new project, with all these collabs, I can't wait to see what's to come, because this is just,
Yeah,
it's
it's about
gonna
to be
be
crazy.
crazy.
Well, this Saturday I'll be in Jersey performing at a church called Perfecting, Saturday night, 6 o'clock. And then, excuse me, yeah, I'll be at the Grammys. Hip Hop DX is having I guess a concert, I guess. And I'll be performing there as well. I'm excited about that because it's a mainstream stage.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that. So check me out. Stay connected with me on my socials. T.R.U.T.H on duty. Unfortunately, I'm still changing my name over. So right now it's still T.R.U.T.H on duty. Those are my socials. If you're on Facebook, then it's the truth. And yeah, let's stay connected. Keep rocking with me. Let's go.
Awesome. Emanuel, thank you so much for
Appreciate
popping in
you.
with us
Salute to
today.
you,
You're
brother.
doing a lot of thread. Take it easy, man. Have a good
All right,
one.
man.
Take care.
Much love.
All right.
Peace.
Hey, y'all, this is William Murphy, and you're watching Gospel Music Buzz.